Hi, thank you so much for having me this afternoon. My name is Jordyn Schneider, and I'm going to take you through Crackle's advertising offerings. Please, throughout this presentation, feel free to stop me and ask questions or comments. I'm going to start off by asking you guys a question. How many of you in this room do not have cable television? Okay, there's a few of you. And then how many of you in this room watch and stream television shows and movies through your connected devices or your mobile or tablet? Great, almost all of you. So this is a prime example of our TV landscape and how it's changing and evolving. Crackle is a 100% free, always-on, ad-supported streaming service. Crackle falls under the Sony umbrella. Sony brings you some of the best television shows like Breaking Bad, Blacklist, etc. We also have Sony Music, which has many record labels under the umbrella, and then Sony Pictures Entertainment, which brings you all of your box office hits, and Crackle Studios, which is our in-house studio through Sony, producing Crackle originals, and then our PlayStation Studio, which produces both PlayStation originals as well as PlayStation Live events. So as I mentioned, the TV landscape is changing, and 40% of homes are using streaming video on-demand services. Many of these are not ad-supported, but Crackle is. If you take a look at the millennial segment, adults 18 to 34, you'll actually see that 90% of millennials are streaming video on demand. So as you can see, there are lots of people are streaming, and there's very few ways of actually getting your advertising across. Many people are fed up with paying $150 to $200 a month for their cable bill. So they're actually deciding to cut the cord or shave the cord and replace that with their connected TV devices. We found that within the home, people are choosing to watch television on the largest screen that they have available. So if that's in their new living room, it's actually going to be on their 60-inch television through their connected devices. So where does Crackle fall within this new TV landscape? Crackle has almost 30 million uniques. We have over 174 million monthly streams, but a really important stat up there is our completion rates. We have very high completion rates of averaging about 95%, and this just goes to show that our users are actually watching the ad. We cannot skip our ads, so in order to watch your television show or your movie, you have to go and watch the advertisements, but we keep our pods very short and low clutter. So within a pod of advertising break, you can only have up to 3 advertisements. And so if you have 15-second creative, that could just be 45 seconds of advertisement within these movies and TV shows within a commercial pod. So as I mentioned, we have some really strong completion rates. This is just a look at some of our very strong performance metrics across multiple different industries. So if you take a look at the first column, you'll see our strong completion rates that I noted from the slide before, up to 98%, so well above the industry standards. We're also 100% viewable within the Crackle app. And then the last column shows you just our great brand lift and click-through rates. Our users are actually interacting with the ads. They're seeing the ads, they're noting it. In a lot of cases, they're actually clicking through and discovering more about your product. So Crackle curates. We're a curated network, and we curate towards our audience. Our audience we have named as the rechargers. Rechargers are young, they're affluent with a 75 household income average. They are well educated, they're starting their careers, they are looking for success, and they're hard workers. So when they come home at night from their job, they want to sit down, they want to watch TV, and they want it on demand when they want it. They also might be consuming television and video through their mobile device or their tablet while they're on the go. We also have a skew of 54% male and a median age of 28 years. So as we program at Crackle, we're always thinking about our recharger. We program great movies, television shows, and our very own Crackle Originals. We have 1,600 hours per month of video, TV, and we're constantly refreshing that every month. This year we announced Crackle's Always On. So this is much like linear television. As soon as you turn on the TV, you're brought directly into programming. How many of you guys have Netflix or Amazon Prime and you're constantly scrolling through? It might be 20 or 30 minutes before you actually choose a program. I'm the same way. So this solution actually allows the user to be brought right into television. They can choose to watch what we brought them in on, or they can scroll to the tray and choose other shows that we've served to them. We use behavioral targeting to actually target directly to our user. So if you were watching Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee last night and you didn't finish the episode, we'll start you off where you left off. But within this program, you also have the option of searching by genre, searching an exact title. So you still have that on-demand feature within a live television experience. So I mentioned the new living room, and we really strive to be able to offer Crackle wherever that new living room might be for you. So we want to be available everywhere. At the top, you can note our distribution across connected television devices. This includes gaming consoles, streaming consoles, and smart TVs. You'll also notice the middle is our mobile offerings, and then at the bottom, desktop, where you can find us anywhere. And then we're also available on Delta Airlines. Actually, in flight, you can watch Crackle programming. We are also in some talks with some car manufacturers to actually be put into the entertainment systems in cars. So we really want to be available wherever our consumer is. So Crackle advertising. We really offer the best of linear television, giving you long-form premium content, but with all of the perks of digital and digital targeting. So with Crackle, we offer addressable television. Our goal here is to be 100% addressable across screens. And we work with both Nielsen and ComScore to verify through third-party verifications, as well as we're working on an Adobe DMP that will be able to segment all of the different targets within Crackle, so you can directly target your audience. This is a look at our Adobe DMP that we're building out this year. We'll be able to offer first, second, and third-party data. So as we discussed, we look a lot like linear TV, but with the perks of digital. So this is just taking a look at, within a linear television buy, the incremental reach that Crackle can add. So when you're doing your linear television buys, it's a great way to reach audience fast and a large amount of audience. But if you take some of that budget from your frequency and actually put it towards Crackle, we can gain a lot of reach for you and your advertiser. So Crackle is both a network and a studio. So we offer you all the perks of working directly with a studio through our Crackle Originals. I'm going to take you through each of these different originals, but I just wanted to show you some of the brand power that we can have with integrations within our original series. We can bring you directly to the table with our producers and our writers and bring your story to life through our content. We can provide derivative content. We can also do environmental integrations into our original series, as well as we offer turnkey integrations within series as well. So now I'm going to take you through our Crackle original lineup. The first series is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. So this is our #1 hit on Crackle. Jerry has really dedicated himself not only to Crackle, but also just in general to streaming services and the changing TV landscape. He knew that as television was changing and evolving, he wanted to get into digital, and he came to Sony Pictures, Crackle to partner with us to bring to life this amazing series. Season 6 just finished earlier this month, and we had a great cast in Season 6, as you can see from up here. Jim Carrey, Steve Harvey, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, and the list goes on and on. As you can also see, a lot of the talent up here are late night performers. So this season, we tried something new, and we distributed Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee at 11:30 p.m. every Wednesday to line ourselves up with that late night entertainment audience. It worked really well for us, and as you can see, we've had just a great cast of characters and great following. Steve Harvey, just as a fun fact, actually tapes his syndicated series in the NBC Tower, which is where the Chicago Sony office is. And this year, when Jerry came to pick him up for Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, it was actually at our building. So they were in the front lobby, just walking through casually. It was a really cool experience. Many people just got to see them interact. It was very funny. So Joe Dirt 2 launched just last week. This is the most anticipated and unexpected sequel ever. This is brought to us by all the original cast of Joe Dirt, including David Spade, Christopher Walken, Brittany Daniel, and Patrick Warburton, just to name a few. So David Spade has wanted to do this for over 10 years. There is a wonderful cult following behind Joe Dirt and this whole mullet cult following. There's actually a National Mullet Day that happened earlier this summer. And David's wanted to do this for a very long time. He has tons of research just showing the following behind the movie, Joe Dirt. And Joe Dirt 2's launch last week really proved that there is that following. In under a week, we've had over 1 million streams, and that just keeps growing. So it's been a great release for us, and we're really happy to have them. The Art of More is our first one-hour drama on Crackle. This is going to be launching later this fall, and this takes a look at the underbelly of 2 competing auction houses in New York City. Think of a Sotheby's auction house versus a Christie's auction house. There's lots of tension between the two, always wanting to have the best antiquities and the best auctions. But in this series, we follow Graham Carter, who is the main character. He is an ex-Iraq vet, and when he was stationed in Iraq, he was outside of a lot of the palaces, and he got to learn a lot about the antiquities within the palaces. He took that knowledge with him back to New York and to the auction world, and he is working his way up within New York and within this city and this competing market. There's great star power within this series, as you can see. Dennis Quaid, Kate Bosworth, and Christian Cook, who is actually the number 2 considered for Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey.